Ah, fuck me. I'd got up about 5 times before I got the right socket size for this nut. So in the last couple of videos, you'll see we got through a lot of the bodywork on the rear quarters, the roof, the bonnet, and now we're just here masking up the car so we can start priming it. It's been sitting around for a while, so we needed to get some primer on that, get it sealed off. So a little bit of masking work, a little bit of finalizing some prep, and we can start getting some primer on here. Now these spray guns have been sitting around for years. So the first one I picked up, the older one, the cheaper one, would not spray at all. Had a little bit coming out, so I just switched to my newer gun, and that worked fine. But that's actually my top coat gun, so it's now my new primer gun. So I'm putting the first coat on here, and I'll put 3 coats on in total on this one. That should be enough build up of primer for when I sand to do the top coat. Now bear in mind I've still got the bodywork to do on all the doors and the boot lid as well, and a little bit on the front guards. So that'll be in another video sometime in the future. But next we're kicking on with that rust in the front. So here it is, all finished, primed up. Happy I finally got some primer on it and it's not sitting around. Actually came up with quite a nice finish on it, nice and smooth, looks good. But it's time to move on to the worst part of the car now, and you'll see shortly what I thought I was going to be doing has now changed. Meow. Meow. Let's start stripping the front of this car down, eh? Right, we'll start by taking the radiator out. A few brackets, a few hoses to take off. And then we will watch the coolant spill all over the floor, shall we? Now while I was editing this video, there was a long pause with no talking in it. So right at this point, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video. This video is sponsored by Future Me, who's currently editing this. I'd just like to say thank you for cutting out all the bits where I forgot what I was saying, sneezed halfway through a sentence, or stared blankly at the camera for 20 seconds. You're doing great, mate. Also, zoom in dramatically on my face here. He won't. A little bit of water. Actually went in the tub this time. Coolant hose and 2 oil hoses to go. Now the radiator's out, you can see all the, we saw that before, the rust in the front. We can get down inside here. You can now see that there is a big giant hole in there too. Now, normally with rust around here, you're going to have to, all the insides are going to be where these
subframes are. Underneath where the subframe is, normally all the mounting in there where the bolts go through is pretty bad too, but we will check that out as we go.
Right, have a bit of a sweep up here. I hate lying around on a dirty floor. And we'll get the subframe removed. Power bar these corroded bolts out of the way. And move on from there.
Fuck did that go? What the fuck? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now I know we've all had that moment where you've dropped something and you think it'll just be so simple to reach down and pick it up, but then it ruins the rest of everything for the next 10 minutes because you spent 5 seconds longer than you should have looking for the damn thing. Right, let's clean up this front plate, see where all the spot welds are, drill them out, cut it off, and we'll get a good look at what's inside, huh?
Well, there you have it. That's what's inside your lower rad supports when there's a little bit of rust on the outside. It looks really bad. Let's get rid of all that crap and see what it actually looks like.
Well, there you have it. Doesn't really look much different.
Oh yeah, oh thanks Cat. Yep. Out of the way.
Okay, so the plan has changed. I'm now going to be taking the motor out, so I got a bit better access to that lower red support. So I brought some more tools home with me. Also, because of all the leaks and stuff I need to do on the engine, it's going to make it easier to do that. So I'm going to get this motor out. It's going to give me access to the motor. It's going to give me access to the lower red support. Then we got a bit more room where we can make a decent patch and do a nice job. So let's get this underway, get the motor out, and crack on with the next bit. So here you'll just see me start to remove some of the electrical plugs, some of the additional hoses that are attached to the heating. I'm taking a few photos here and there of some bits that I'll probably forget when I go to put it back together. Always good to have some photos of stuff. Not that there's much to these motors, but it just makes it easier when you go to refit everything at the end. A few little bits down the side attached to the gearbox that I have to remove. Now the starter motor and the alternator are right down the back below the intake manifold. So it was a little bit tricky to get in there and see what I was doing, but we managed to squeeze a spanner in there. Got them taken off as well. I unbolted the power steering directly off the motor so I didn't have to leak any of the fluid anywhere. And we just set that to the side, ready for the refit. Just check over a few little things on top and then we will get underneath, have a look what's below. Couple of bolts for the exhaust underneath, and then we'll have to remove the drive shafts out of the side of the gearbox, I guess. Right, we're pretty much ready to take the motor out now. Just undo a few engine mounts loosely, and then we'll take the bonnet off so that's out of the way. And then I'm just going to push it down to my other shed where I can lift the motor up. Let's get that done and we can carry on with the rust. Ah, fuck me. Right, let's go. At this point I'd realised that not having drive shafts in meant that my hubs weren't really attached to the car, which meant that the discs was sort of rubbing a bit and causing the wheels to stick. But there's nothing I could do about it at this point because the only place I could take the motor out was down in this shed. And I couldn't take the drive shafts out once it was down there, so I just had to risk pushing the car down there, hoping the wheels didn't fall off. Which I knew they wouldn't, because I didn't give a shit really. I managed to find some chain, which was the anchor chain for my boat, and a couple of D shackles lying around, so I could attach that to lift the motor out. Now we just undo the last few bolts for the engine mounts and we'll start to lift it out. Just checking around the engine to see if anything's jamming. And then out she comes. Right, so now I can clean this motor up. We can take it round to a friend's place. He's going to get some seals and stuff for it, and we'll get back into the bodywork in the meantime. Let's get this car back up into the garage. Right, we're back in the shed. Motor's out. Ready to get that started too. To take that beam out. We're ready to rock and roll now. Let's get started on this rad support. Oh, and on the way back to the garage, one of the wheels did nearly fall off, so I had to quickly jack that up, put a drive shaft back in. As you can probably just see in the left front wheel there's one there. Yeah, that nearly fell off. Looks like I'm going to have to pick up a couple of subframe bolts too. Right, now let's get into making this patch for the front of this car. Yeah, I'll just trace around the one I cut out earlier, just making a rough cut around it, and then I'll trim it up nicely. Got my new folders the other week, so I've been looking forward to just folding this one piece of steel probably. Oh, and I'll get to do the inner as well at some point when I get around to it. So I'm just putting a little lip on the curved piece at the top here. The old part just had a little curved lip over it, so I just bend it around with a pair of pliers, and that's pretty much all factory right there, mate. Here I'm just drilling out some of the spot welds so I can remove the inner frame as a complete piece, or as much of a complete piece as I can. Then I can use parts of it as a template to create a new piece for when I put it back in. Okay, so I don't know how much of that video actually recorded because it kept stopping, but we have cut all that inner guts out of there so I can carry on making that inner piece here, and then I'll make the framing inside to go inside that after I've done that. As you can see, there's a little brace that went in there.
So I'll make another one of those, because all of the welded on nuts are completely corroded and cracked. See on the inside. Just had to clean all that up, drill those spot welds out to get the inner frame out. Now there's the outer skin I just quickly made up. A bit more work there. There's the inner frame. As you can see, it's pretty rotten. I'm gonna have to make something that goes in there. That's got the that holds the bolts for the that subframe part. Bolts all into that, so that's gonna have to be pretty strong. But I should be able to make up something there. And that's her. That's how bad it is so far. Got the engine out, and we'll carry on, get some more done.
I know it's taken me a long time to get this next video done. I've had a whole lot of other stuff I've had to do, plus working full time as well as a panel beater. It doesn't give me much energy or much time to do anything outside of work hours. But I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe. Like the video, share it if you like. And I'll hopefully get some more of this done soon and have another video up next. Appreciate you. Thanks.